there on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. It's streaming on everything. So yeah, MD with Spirit, send me a request. That makes it much easier. All right, so we're here today we're live with Muneeza Ahmed. I'm the intuitive medicine woman. I'm here to support you all with your health questions. All of you ask a bunch of questions every day, and I wanted to come on because I haven't done a proper Q&A live with all of you in a while. So it's really, really helpful to jump on with all of you because we haven't done it in so long and hang out with you and kind of connect. And also this earlier time, I think would help probably some of the Europeans be able to get on. It's still late, guys, I know, but in the morning, it's really hard because I'm working, so I cannot do it in the morning. So the evening time tends to be the best time of the day to do it. What's my favorite brain shot? My favorite brain shot is probably the wisdom and intuition shot. I really, really love that one. So I had some questions. So first of all, I want to share, I've got a couple of sick kids. So, when even if I have help, when my kiddos are down for the count, it creates a lot of stress for me. One, because, I'm a mom and I'm always concerned about them. And number two, it's just, there's a lot more to do for someone who's not feeling well. And so there's a lot more to kind of figure out for them. Oh my gosh, there we go. The light is finally working well. So there's a lot more to figure out when the kiddos are not well. And so I just want to say, it's just one of those times of the year where it's super busy, right? There's a lot of pressure. It's busy. And why do we get busy? So what we've been hearing from people, and I was reading this article that was talking about why it's so busy for everyone right now, is because I think people are putting on a lot of pressure onto themselves to do more. Everybody missed out during the pandemic, and they're all missed out. They're all struggling to live their lives. They, struggling to get help and support. And so, thank you, Erin. Let's see if this makes a difference on Instagram. Okay, so I'm hoping that there's no sound. Hey, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if the sound is clear. On other platforms I'm streaming right now, it's working on other platforms. I know there's a lot of people joining other places as well. All right, so basically around the holidays, there's just a lot of pressure, and the reason people have a lot of pressure on them is because of what they've missed out on during the pandemic. So people missed out a lot during the pandemic. They felt like they lost a lot of time. They lost time with family. They lost time traveling. They lost time with their loved ones. They've lost time trying to do their bucket list, right? So right now, people are having a lot of pressure on them to make sure that they can catch up on all that time. So people aren't as worried about so Christy Barkley, if you're joining now and if others are just sort of joining, the whole reason what we're talking about is what people have missed out on during this pandemic, right? And so whoever's live, if you don't mind muting yourself and turning your camera off, it makes a big difference so that we don't miss out. Thank you. And Create the Healing says, and a lot of us, oh, you left, but hopefully you can hear me. So basically the healing says a lot of us have lost health during the pandemic. I would agree. We have lost health in many ways. What are all the ways in which we've lost health? We've lost health because we were stressed. We've lost health because we've lost jobs. People have been quarantined together, stuck with each other, unable to have their healing therapy support. Like if you were seeing a counselor, or if you were getting massage therapy, or if you were working with a body worker, or if you were, working with a chiropractor, all this hands-on stuff stopped during the pandemic. And a lot of people lost a lot of stuff during the pandemic. And so what people are trying to do now is to make up time. And in a sense, people sort of don't care about what's going on out there. So they don't care if they get sick. They don't care if they catch a bug. Oh, it's not COVID, or oh, I shouldn't say that. But if it's not already like struggling with being censored, so it's not so bad. So it's not the pandemic bug. It's just, I'll just catch the flu and I'll get the flu and I'll get over it, right? So a lot of people are saying that they'll just get over it and it'll be fine. But that adds pressure, because right now the bugs are pretty serious. And so it just adds one more thing, one more layer of kind of not feeling so good, not feeling so hot, and another layer of struggling with more in life. There's just another thing that you pile on top. So right now people are trying to, they're trying to do more with their health. They're trying to do more with meeting family. They're trying to do more with their travel. They're trying to do more with many things in life. So there's a lot of pressure. So I'm going to do a whole, I'll do a sort of check with everybody. What are you struggling with? Are you all feeling that, are you feeling a lot of pressure right now? Is that what people are feeling? Are you feeling extra pressure right now? So some people are saying, can you heal a UTI? Or I'm going to catch that question in a little bit. Lynn says YouTube is better than Instagram. Instagram, your sound is static, but also going on and off. Yeah. Alicia says, thank you for doing the Q&As. I always learn so much. Always coming on to help you guys. All right. So, all right. Okay. So Biggie Knock says, I'm not stressed. I'm pregnant right now. I'm very happy. That's amazing, Biggie. So happy for you. Christy says, here in my small town, things didn't shut down. I was able to see my chiropractor. Gym didn't close, so we were lucky that way. You are very lucky. You're very lucky. So there's some good question coming up about the holidays, and there is a lot of pressure for people on the holidays, right? Plant-based Indian mom, hey Shania, says, just gulped all my shock therapies. Now not fun at all being sick. It is not fun at all. Mira, health coach, says, I'm having C right now and it's bad. Yeah. Denny Ann says, I just spoke with our son in college. He doesn't feel well, right? So Drindy says, some people won't come around if you haven't gotten the new plate treatment. Yeah, exactly. So, there's a lot going on for people. And I just want to share. Gluten-free Chick says, we can't catch a break with congestion and cough symptoms. It's really up there right now, right? You're hearing a lot of stories, and you may be experiencing it yourself. Evangeline says, there's a funny feeling in my chest, so yeah, I'm stressed. Yeah, so a lot of people are feeling stressed, both from sickness, from pressure of the holidays. So what can you do to relieve holiday pressure? Let's talk about that first. Because for the last month, I've been talking about how to get better with flus, coughs, colds, sicknesses. Somebody asked a question about how to treat an ear infection in kids without antibiotics. So who is this? All right, it's Geeta. Oh, it's Geeta. Hi, how are you? So Geeta, go to my emergency kits, the free resource on my website, emergency kits, and download the one for cold, flu, cough, and ear infections. And I cover in there what to do. But basically, you want to do a lot. It's strep that causes ear infections. So you want to address it with micro C, zinc, lemon balm, cat's claw, golden seal, And all of those. Do extra garlic, turmeric, ginger shots can be super helpful as well, with a lot of honey in them. So that can be a good place to go. Miriam, who's in the UK, right? She's saying, I'm sick. So many kids at school are sick. It's true. Okay. So let's do a meditation together really briefly. Let's just take a deep breath, right? And I'm not going to have you go for like hours or anything like that. Just like a super simple, like, let's just take a deep breath. Ready? In for the count of 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for way longer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hopefully that has allowed you to center, just really, really gently center yourself. And remember that part of the reason we get more sick in the holidays is because we're stressed. My daughter, who is battling something right now, got sick because she had a game that she went to. Then she had 2 full days of lots of commitments. And before that, she was just feeling a lot of stress anyway. And then it's that time of the month, and you combine all of those, and boom, you're sick. So managing stress levels and the pressure of the holidays is very important. So what I want to ask you is, where's the pressure coming from? Is it coming from you, or is it coming from other people? Either way, you have a choice. So I want you all to just take a deep breath and, show yourself that, show what's going on. So I'm going to show you guys a comment. So there we have a question coming in from Miriam. She says, what is the best way to heal an overburdened liver? We live in a farm area and also we're exposed to mold. So the best way to heal an overburdened liver is to cut out the amount of dietary fat that you are including in your food and meals daily. And if that's the case, make sure that you're reducing fat, doing a 3-6-9 cleanse, and if you're living in a farm area, make sure you're doing the pesticide and fungicide and herbicide exposure shot from the Brain Shot books. Okay, really important. And if you're exposed to mold, then I would do the mold exposure shot as well. All right, so just to show you other comments, people are saying classrooms half full in my school in the UK, right? Because people are sick. And so it's really important to pay attention to these. So I'm glad people are sharing. There's a lot of comments actually. So Geeta said, yeah, my kids have been sick back to back in school, making kids sick. I feel like starting a home or online school because of health concerns is a huge decision, but I cannot take this sickness. I know the issue has been that people are sick back to back to back to back to back. That's a huge problem, right? Cheryl says, my son cannot get rid of his deep cough. He had pneumonia in September and the cough went away and then got sick over Thanksgiving and the cough won't go away. So one of the things that is really helpful to do if a cough is not going away is to bring in lomatium and mullein and bronchial wellness syrup. Cheryl, if you go to my free resources on my website, download the emergency kit for cold, flu, cough, and I tell you what to do in there. Another quick trick for a cough is to cut up some raw onions and put them on the feet of your child with a sock over it. And that can actually help a cough go away. It's combined with all the other medical medium tools. Doing this one on top can make a big difference. Or just leaving a cut onion in the room. Breathing in those fumes can actually relieve a cough. Medical medium actually has in the Life-Changing Foods book, he has a tip to do the onion, cut up raw onion in hot water, and you put a cover over your head and breathe in that steam, and that will try to make a difference. It will make a difference for you. Okay, so Leslie says sending prayers for my daughter. Thank you so much, Leslie. So Evangeline says that we'll be traveling to the US and the plane ride is making me nervous. So Evangeline, what I would recommend that you do if your plane ride is making you nervous is you can look up all the tips in my Travel Made Easy course on my website, and it will show you all of the things that you need to know or do to protect yourself while you travel. It's pretty comprehensive with a lot of tools and tips and tricks. All right, so don't be nervous. Make sure you wear a mask. You can protect yourself. You can do a lot. So Geeta, deciding whether you want to homeschool your children is a big decision, 100%. We had to make that decision as well. So I would say think about it, do your research, and then you can definitely approach it. But for our family, it has been the best decision that we've made. Jolene says, sadness with the holidays. Yes, it's not a happy time for everybody, right? The stress is society saying it should be the happiest time of the year. It isn't always the happiest time of the year, and that can be a lot of pressure to hold as you deal with sicknesses and illnesses, and deal with family issues and PTSD and trauma and triggers around family as they come into the holidays. So some of us aren't connected with our families. Some of us have broken from our families. Some of us, our families have not accepted us. So when there's time in the year that is designated to spend with families, it can be really hard to consider, oh my gosh, like do I want to spend time with family? This is super triggering. I would rather not do that. So if you're having a lot of issues with that, Jolene, and it's sadness coming up around the holidays, what I recommend is that you do the trauma shock stabilizer shot and the betrayal and broken trust stabilizer shot, and do some of the brain shock therapies. They will really, really help you through the sadness of the holidays. Plant-based hippie says, can anything be done for electrical problems with the heart? Sure. When you say electrical problems, it depends exactly what you're talking. I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly, but the heart is governed by nerves, and nerves are connected to the cranial nerves in the brain. That's how the heart works. The heart is electrical. So when you say electrical problem, are you referring to a polarity issue? Are you referring to a heartbeat issue? What is the actual issue that is going on? Cheryl Stolaric says, why is everyone so sick this year? Let's think about that. So there's a problem with so many people have taken medical treatments that are problematic, right? They've taken medical treatments that are problematic. They have taken, that has weakened their immunity. Plus, every year, even before the pandemic happened, bugs are put out into the environment. And so you have to remember that. Right now, RSV is a big one, but could it be masquerading as something else? RSV is masquerading as something else. What do you think that could be? Please don't use trigger words in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. So Andreas Holdy says, I find it stressful to ask family members not to burn scented candles, use perfume, because I'm worried about their reaction. So are you worried about their reaction more than you're worried about your reaction? Maybe that's what it is, Andreas. I would say that you can say to them that I get a migraine or I get really affected when I smell something. So I'd really appreciate it because I want to spend time with you, because if you show up like that, then I may not be able to spend that much time with you. And I really want to hang out with you. Would you mind making it easier for me to do that? And if you mind, not wear that, because it would really, really help me. So, and you can maybe send them a list of perfume and things like that that could work better that could work better than the toxic stuff that they're using. You can send them some options. I have some great options in my courses and things that I share. So Lindsay Julia says, I do home care physical therapy, and all my patients have been sick with colds and flus. Stay healthy, eating low fat, like what Muneeza just said. I've been staying healthy, doing more leafy greens and juicing. Yes. Terry J says, the bronchitis broth works wonders. I was just about to say that as well. The bronchitis broth for coughs, which is in the medical medium book, is equal parts of celery, onion, and radishes. Equal parts of celery, onion, and radishes in hot water. You boil it, and then the broth from that really helps with a cough. Kathy Ann says, I used to rub garlic on the feet of my children. Sure, garlic can work as well. I find that specifically onions work for a cough. Geeta, it's good to see you too. Arash Abdi says, I cannot seem to heal dealing with Morgellons disease. What can you recommend beyond the usual? I would say for Morgellons, you really need to do high vitamin C therapy. Masi says, I love to see you. It gives me so much hope. Happy holidays to you and your family. Happy holidays to you as well, Masi. Hope your family is doing really, really well. Passion for change. So grateful for all that you share and support. You're so welcome. Michelle Bowie, what homeschool resource do you like? I like the Good and Beautiful syllabus. I think it's really great. And Michelle Bowie, if you didn't know, I have a whole homeschool resource section in my Amazon store. So for those of you who are interested, please check that out. So on Facebook, we have a question for Michelle Lynn. And Michelle asks, what could be a little string hanging from tonsils be? It could be mucus. It could be just a buildup of a tonsil stone that it got stringy instead of round or what have you. But it could be anything. It could really just be mucus that's kind of dried. Christy Goodman says, I really enjoyed the adrenal shot, 5G as well. They've helped so much. So if the adrenal shot, yes, the adrenal fight or flight stabilizer shot during the holidays is a must, as well as the burnout shot, I would say, is a must. Amanda asked the question. She said, my husband keeps using my Green Life pans to make meat, stew, boil eggs, etc. I feel like they are tainted now. Is there a way to clean to make sure they aren't contaminated? Make sure that you clean them well and scrub them really well. Maybe put them into the dishwasher to make sure they get a super hot wash. And you can then scrape off all of the extra kind of grease that would be on them or any things like that. So if you you could buy yourself some doTERRA pans, and the doTERRA pans might be really helpful in keeping your stuff separate from those of your husband. I hope that helps. All right, so Meta says on Facebook that the sound is not good. The sound keeps going in and out. It has been better at some points, Meta, and then worse at some points. So just hang with me. Geeta says, thank you for your input. I missed my membership calls of last year. Lots of love. Would love to have you join in again, Geeta, if you can. I miss you too. Christy says, for the first time in years, I'm excited and happy this holiday season. I totally credit the brain shots. So those of Jolene, you were asking about how to approach, the holidays when you're struggling. That's one way to do it. Preferred Scent says, apple in celery juice for kids who refuse to drink it plain will still detox. It's a way of getting children used to celery juice, but it won't work the way plain does. It may help a little bit, but it won't work the way plain celery juice has. A really magical power to it that can only be had when it's plain. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, send me a comment, because when you send me a comment and I read your comment out, I can put it onto the screen and everyone can see it, except it doesn't work with Instagram. So Instagram, we have to just do it separately. Masi, she says, I'm so grateful to you for healing my pains. I'm blessed for you coming into my life. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling better. That's huge news, Masi, huge news. Veronica says, if I don't have a water filter, is it still okay to bathe with Epsom salts? I live in PA. Yeah, it's totally fine, Veronica. Wendy Ukulele says, I haven't done any of the brain shots yet. That will be when the kids go on holiday. It definitely takes some organizing and doing. So I would say if you want to wait till then, that's totally fine. Which tincture do you recommend for heart disease? Heart disease is more a dietary thing, but in general, you want to keep your fats low if you have heart disease for sure. And you want to bring in more. So specific things for heart disease include CoQ10, Oregon grapefruit, hawthorn berry, NAC. Lots of antioxidants can make a big difference. All right. Andrea Leggi says, sleep apnea in kids. What can I do? So sleep apnea can be caused by different root causes. One can be toxic heavy metals that are causing a blockage or just a nerve signal that gets bounced back when you're supposed to be keeping your mouth closed for breathing through the nose, and that's not working. And then you get this signal gets scrambled in a way, and then you wake up because you're not getting enough oxygen because your breathing isn't going right. A second reason why you have sleep apnea is because you can have a lot of sinus issues, and if there's congestion and mucus and sinus problems in the nose and the sinuses, that can actually cause a blockage as well. If you have a lot of thick post-nasal drip, that can also cause an issue and cause you to not be able to breathe at night. So two issues have to be addressed differently with two different root causes. And so, Andrea, sometimes people have both. So for your child, you have to figure out what really is that root cause. And if it's sinus issues, then congestion and what have you, that's a strep condition. So you really want to bring in the strep protocol. So lots of vitamin C. I would do zinc. I would do golden seal, cat's claw, lomatium, garlic, thyme water, thyme tea, sage, oregano are super helpful against bacterial infections and what have you to help to clear up the sinuses. And then if it's toxic heavy metal based, then you have to do a lot more cleansing of toxic heavy metals using the heavy metal detox smoothie by Medical Medium, and bringing in the extractor smoothie, maybe the advanced heavy metal detox smoothie once your child becomes used to the basic one. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, next question is from Nicole, and she says, adrenals and relaxation, also hard to lose weight. So Nicole, just 5 minutes to taking a deep breath and centering yourself is super helpful to just, you can take multiple 5-minute breaks in a day to center yourself. And I really recommend doing that. And also relieving yourself of pressure. So asking yourself, where is pressure? Is pressure coming from yourself? Is pressure coming from outside? Who is putting pressure on you? So the adrenal fight or flight stabilizer brain shot therapy will be super helpful for someone dealing with adrenals and needing to relax more. So it's hard to lose weight. I hear you. The doing more cleaning up your liver, doing 369 cleanses, lowering your dietary fat will help you with that. Okay, so next question is from Instagram. Lupus free with celery. Hey, honey, I missed you. How are you doing? Brain shot therapy just helped my daughter get over a fear that was holding her back. That's amazing. Plant-based hippie said my mom had to have a pacemaker. She had a heart blockage. No history of heart disease. Yeah, so a blockage is basically so much fat in the bloodstream that it starts to deposit around the arteries, causing atherosclerosis, which is kind of like a sclerosis that also involves a little bit of EBV. So what does RSV stand for? RSV is the name of a virus that causes it's a lung infection. What does it stand for? I cannot remember. It's like so many names. Plant-based Indian mom says, I put a raw onion yesterday in my kid's room and it did wonders. That's amazing. It does really make a difference with the onion. Massey says, I'm doing the craving shifter shot for overeating. Yes, that's the right one. Miriam says, what's the highest temperature a 3-month-old can have? And if it's an emergency, can you give a 3-month-old conventional fever medicine? Yes, you can if it's an emergency. And I think for 3-month-olds, it's like 102, 100, 101, 100 and babies and infants are different. So babies and infants, like they don't even register a fever. They say if a baby has 99, it's not really a fever. They say that a baby registers a fever at 100, but you really don't want it to go above a certain, like 102. So you have to be, there's a narrower range for babies. Mariuka is 55. Do you have to sign up for membership until December? You have until January to sign up for membership. So if you're waiting, you can definitely wait until January. So a question on Zara, you're telling me that there's a lot of static, and so you're on Facebook and there's a lot of static there. I'm not sure why or what's going on with that, but if there's a lot of static, I don't know, maybe it's the same problem that I'm having with Instagram. They're owned by the same people, right? I think so. I've never, ever, I've been on lives on Facebook for years, and I've never had a problem with my static on Facebook. So Julie asks a question. Do you think the advanced extractor smoothie can be used in the advanced 369 for dinners? I joined late. I hope I'm not sure about the topic for today. The topic is preparing for the holidays and dealing with holiday pressure. So, Julie, there's a good question. Medical Medium has not said that we can actually have advanced extractor smoothie on the advanced 369. He said that you can do brain shots, but he didn't talk about those smoothies. So I would take that as a no for now. Okay, next question. Lupus Free with Celery says, I literally just sent a report to my family member about the toxicity and carcinogenic chemicals in candles, and her response was, I only burn them for a while at a time. Moderation. Yes, indeed, moderation. Cara, you're telling me yes, there is static. I hear you, girl. I don't know why. Can you, for those of you who are telling me that there's static, can you actually hear me above the static, or is the static so loud that you can't hear me? So Christy says, hi, what might be good for breathing issues? Asthma, fatigue, very easily. Okay, so breathing issues, you want to bring in NAC, N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine. Lower your dietary fat. When you have a lot of fat in your diet, you will struggle with thinning out your mucus, right? So if there's mucus, you're going to struggle with thinning it out. What might be good? So what else is good for asthma? Golden seal, high doses of micro C can relieve asthmatic symptoms very quickly. Lomatium, bringing in just more cleansing. Like you want to cleanse whatever's in the bronchial tubes. The lining of the tubes get filled with toxins and poisons and chemicals and debris that can cause this inflamed bronchial asthma. So what is really important to do is to start to do some cleansing and bring in some of the supplements that I just spoke to. All right, so I'm glad that you can hear me even though there's static, because it's just annoying, frankly. All right, next question on Instagram says, which protocol could be focused on for Haley disease? I'm dabbling in each what though? But I feel I need more of a protocol for it, and it's been horrible. So I'm not sure what you mean by, like, what do you mean, love, by saying that you're dabbling in both? What does that mean? Haley disease is a skin disease, and basically you want to make sure that it's causing like blistering and a painful rash, and so there's an element of shingles involved. So if you're not doing a shingles protocol, I would definitely bring that in and do more skin support like aloe and papaya, which will help you as well. All right, next question is on Facebook. And on there, Gladys asks, at the third day of fat-free, I got a gas bubble in my lower left quadrant. It hurt and took 4 days to go away. Now I have to go back to fat, not the first time. So Gladys, if you're letting go of fat, do it gently. Take a few days and lower your fat for maybe a week or a month or so. and then slowly and gently introduce that if you're having a gas bubble show up, one of the things that can be super helpful with gas is fennel and fennel juice, or fennel tea made with fennel seeds. So do any of those. Those will be super helpful as well. You can probably get through it by bringing in fennel without having to go back on fat. All right, so thank you all for letting me know that you can still hear me in spite of the static. Cara says I can hear you, but it's a little bad. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So Aaron Grimes said, increase of warts on hands, what's causing them and what will get rid of them. Warts are viral, they're herpetic, they're viral, but Anthony hasn't named which viruses they specifically are. So I would just do an antiviral protocol for them, okay? Just the core 7, focus on them. Bring in some other, like you can bring in some olive leaf, you can bring in some other support for the warts as well. A variety of antivirals is important. Okay. So Chris Dent says you can put basil leaves on the warts with a paper, any type of plaster. You can crush it. That works, Chris Dent, for plantar warts that are on your feet. It doesn't work as well for warts showing up in other places. It's a different kind of wart. Okay, so Terry says the sound quality depends on what subject she's talking about. 100%, I think. Plant-based Indian mom Sharanya says Muneeza's membership is the real deal. She's helped our family so much. Yeah. The membership is a great place. Sharanya, I'm so glad that your family gets help in the membership. You can ask about any member of your family. You need support. People ask about their friends as well. And we are there to give you support, to give you help, to answer your questions. So please connect with me if you have questions about membership, or you can go to my website, muneezaahmed.com, and type in, and just go at the top. You'll see membership community. Click on that, and you can learn more about it. So it's going to be an amazing year because we'll be focusing a lot on cleaning up the mess from anyone who's taken certain things that they needed to be treated with, certain treatments. They're usually medical. And if you want help learning how to detox from those things and all of that, we're going in deeper into that in the membership this year. A lot of people are struggling with it. A lot of people are, as you know, not making it. Like we hear about all kinds of people suddenly not being okay. Or, we hear about, like, for example, our celebrity, Celine Dion, who's been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, right? And that's neurological, and there's no help or anything given for it except medication, and it doesn't really make a difference. So we're giving you real answers in the membership. Come and check it out. It's a really supportive community, 21 practitioners to support you and more, and a Q&A call with me live like we're doing right now, but I can go into a lot more depth in the membership community, and I can give you a lot more real advice, which is I cannot do so much over here. I have to keep it really limited here. But I still want to come on and help you guys because I know so many people are struggling. So if you want more support, join the membership. Check out the link that is on my website. Goddess at Work says swollen testicle in an adult male had antibiotics but left with a scare ball in testicle. What is the cause of this? Swollen testicle is often viral or bacterial, so I would have to know more about it in order to help you understand what is the true real cause. So another really, really good question from Natalie Pfeiffer. Natalie asks, what helps our taste and smell come back? And what helps taste and smell come back is doing an EBV protocol, because EBV is the reason you lose your taste of smell and you lose your sense of smell and your sense of taste. So core 7 is what I recommend. B12, zinc, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root. Okay. micro-C. I said all of that. Sometimes I repeat it. I'm like, did I say all 7? I think I did. I'm just so used to saying all of them. Those really make a difference. All right. So our next question is, can somebody safely detox from heroin? Let's put this question up. Where did it go? There it is. Can someone safely detox from heroin? Yes, you can. You can detoxify from heroin. Anthony's been sharing more about this in the Brain Saver books, as you can see in the background. If you're not, there we go, Instagram. In the Brain Saver protocols and the Brain Saver books, there are protocols for clearing up from drug use, right? So doing the advanced heavy metal detox smoothie, doing the advanced extractor smoothie, those two are going to help you the most to really help clear up. Okay, so I hope that helps. How can, so another question coming from Cheryl says, I have a Berkey filter to filter my water. What do you use to filter your water when you wash dishes? So I have an RO filter, and we use that in general, but we use Berkey as well. And we do also have, what's the word? We also drink spring water from Mountain Rose Herbs. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got so many great questions here. Cheryl says, thank you for answering my questions. I love your Q&As. They're so helpful. That's amazing. I'm so glad they're helpful, Cheryl. I'm happy to support you guys and help. Like I said, if you want more help, deeper support, come into membership. It is open. Membership is open for 2023. It is our signature program. We love it. The community is amazing. And we just want to get more people in there because more people need help and support as they continue to heal or help their families continue to heal, right? It's really, really important. So next question is from Cara Wright. She says, my stress has increased recently because of the time of the year, but I just finished my first advanced 369 yesterday. I have eczema on my eye, headaches and shingles die off were a little tough during the cleanse, and stubborn back pain won't shift after years of being on Slowly better from a 10 out of 10, but still very painful. Any tips? Also the eye damage from the CF of say. Okay, so didn't understand the last part, but basically, if you're struggling with eczema and you're struggling with back pain, I would bring in California poppy. I would bring in some, California poppy, nettle leaf, magnesium glycinate, Neuromag, and I would bring in extra lemon balm. Those will all help you immensely. Okay, so next question is, can anybody in the comments tell me about the advanced heavy metal detox smoothie? So I hope that people have responded to you, Andreas, but basically it's in 2 teaspoons of spirulina, 2 teaspoons of barley grass juice powder, an extra cup of cilantro, and I think the dulse is the same. So that's the basic increase in that smoothie. Chris Dent says, can we leave out the lemon water and lemon balm tea at night when doing the 369 as it keeps you up at night? And one can get really exhausted, which is counterproductive. You can if it really keeps you up at night, Chris. Yeah, you can. Hell yes and no says, been thinking about your seed video, have never grown tubers. How important it is that I up my game and figure out how to grow pumpkins and squashes. They're so super easy to grow that you can do it. Like, it's not going to be hard for you to do it, is what I'm trying to say. So definitely give it a go. And I would say it's important. It's important. I've talked about this before about growing your own food. People ask me what kinds of foods should I think about growing. And what I would say is you want to think about growing foods that are actually going to last you. Like they can last like up to 6 months at a time in a cool, dark cellar or a basement, and you will have food for a long time. You can grow your own food. It's really powerful to learn how to do that. So Massey says, how can I clean my lungs from years of smoking in the past? I would say cleaning your lungs is really about detoxifying. Doing the 369 cleanses on repeat over and over again are going to be important. Doing the extractor smoothie, cigarette smoke has over 4,000 chemicals in it. 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes. So you want to do the heavy metal detox, the advanced heavy metal detox, the basic extractor, and then graduate to the advanced extractor. They will remove those toxic chemicals from your lungs. Hell yes and no says, how can you explain how to take homeopathic remedies with food, without, and how to space it out? So homeopathic remedies, it's really important to have them on a clean mouth. And what that means to have it on a clean mouth is to make sure that you're not eating or drinking anything 30 minutes prior or 30 minutes after you take your remedy, except for maybe just water. So the best thing to do is to put the remedy under your tongue and just to let it dissolve there, and don't do anything before and after. And if you have to space it out, that's how to space it out. And if you have to do multiple remedies in a day, then I would give them at least an hour in between, or 2 hours is better. So Thrive with Natalie says, my receding gums got better with celery juice, but I recently started using Pristine Protocol organic rinse and toothpaste. Would the hydrogen peroxide cause receding gums to come back? No, but what would cause receding gums to come back would be extra acid coming up from your gut. So are you working on cleansing your gut? And if so, what are you doing? The mono cleanse is super important, adding an extra celery juice, swishing with celery juice, and swishing with, there's all kinds of ways that you can help your teeth, bringing in extra greens, healing that gut, doing aloe. So it's really important to bring all of those in. So I would say that really understanding how to heal your gut is super important. All right, so I now sound great on IG. That's incredible. What happened? I shouldn't jinx it. So Tiffany asks a really good question. She says, how do I relieve hormonal migraines? So hormonal migraines are not actually hormonal. When you have a period, you lose your immune system by about 80%. And that drop in your immune system allows what is underlying, like the viruses, to take over and actually attack the nerves more. That's why you get a migraine around that time of your month. So I would increase your nettle leaf, your cat's claw lemon balm, B12, zinc, magnesium glycinate, California poppy, curcumin, all around that time, so that you can relieve yourself of the migraine at that time of the month. Karen Lateef says, can we do the brain juice during the mono cleanse? The one with the apple, kale, dandelion, and spinach. I would not do that during the mono cleanse at all. So lemons and tangerines, moderation equals death by 1,000 cuts. Yes, indeed it does. Rebe says NAC is a supplement doctors recommend. Yep, it's basically an antioxidant. So when on the Advanced 369, is it okay to bring in anything else from the brain books that I can bring in? Only the brain shot therapies that we know of so far. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. So you often completely freeze on Instagram. Lucy says, can any tips for dealing with hay fever? My 10-year-old is suffering at the moment here in New Zealand. It's a very common question coming up about hay fever and allergies. And also we have a question on Facebook about chronic hives. So let's talk about these because they have some similar solutions. So basically, if you're struggling with hay fever, that's usually due to streptococcus infection in the liver and in parts of the lymphatic system and the sinuses. And so it can trigger when you have an environmental trigger. So if you're struggling with hay fever, then I would say that you bring in the extra zinc, you bring in a lot of micro C, and it's the same for hives. You want to bring in a lot of micro C. You want to bring in golden seal for those of you who are struggling with the strep situation. Cat's claw, lemon balm, thyme water, turmeric, ginger, garlic, orange juice shots are super helpful. And if you have hives, then you want to really work on clearing up your liver, because it is a problem that is rooted in the liver. And it's not something that that can be done without working on the liver. You have to work on the liver for support with that. So sorry, just messages from family. Okay, so basically, all right, so chronic hives. Another really helpful tip for chronic hives is reishi. So you want to do reishi powder and reishi tea. And also, if you're having Lucy Kerr, if you're having allergies, reishi contains the equivalent of like 5 milligrams of hydrocortisone. So go for it with the reishi. And also, curcumin is so important for both conditions, like the strep situation, and also for hives, because they're similar in that they're allergic reactions. And so there's some overlap and similarities with the kind of protocols that you use for that. But they're not the same root cause. It's just some of the protocols are very similar. Okay, so lots of questions coming up. Amanda had a really good point. She says, yes, membership is so worth every penny. I was in the membership when I came down with some emergency symptoms, and Muneeza and her team were so amazing at guiding us through it. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy that membership was able to help you, Amanda. Thank you for your lovely, beautiful comment. All right, our next question is from Let's Keep the Hope Today. It says, Cara says, is it okay to have lemon water, celery juice, melon, adrenal shots, and then have my HMDS? Yes, it's totally okay to do that. And another Cara asks, my 2-year-old is still breastfeeding, loads and issues or tips around that. It tires me physically at times. She's an MM baby, and too, of course, she just loves her milk. That's so sweet. I had one as well. I mean, my youngest breastfed for 3.5 years. She would not let go. So I had to gently tell her, like one day, like when she was around 18 months, I'm like, mommy's kind of needing to do less. By the time I was done nursing my youngest, I had been nursing for 9.5 years. I was so done by that time. I'm like, stop touching me. I still have restrictions around my boobs and my breasts. I'm like, no one's allowed to touch me here. It's like, so, you're so touched out and you're so tired of someone always pulling on your body, asking for something physically from you. And so talk to her. She's 2 years old. Tell her that you're done and you want to pull back, and that you can have it at night or you can have it at designated times, but not outside of that. So if she asks for it, redirect her very gently, very compassionately, and very kindly to something else. Let's go eat something. Let's go do something else. You can snuggle with mom. Let's do quiet time. Let's do reading, or a distraction can work as well. It's a tough one, Cara, but you're such a great mom. All right, let's do the next question. Yeah, so next question is, do you have any advice for someone dealing with chemical sensitivity caused by the plague? Cara, Keep the Hope Today. I hope I answered your question, but I just want to say, yes, you can do it in exactly that order. Do you have any advice for someone dealing with chemical sensitivity caused by the plague? So the thing is, Brunner, Tasha, chemical sensitivity is not caused by the plague. Chemical sensitivity is caused by having a sluggish liver and liver issues that go way back and predate the plague. The plague was maybe just a trigger for the chemical sensitivities to become more apparent. All right, so Christy Barkley, I answered your Haley question. Go back and listen if you missed it. So with chemical sensitivity, I would recommend that you go and look at the Liver Rescue book. And in the Liver Rescue book, Medical Medium writes about a whole chapter on food and chemical sensitivities. So that is important to go understand and read and follow the protocols that are listed in that book for healing from chemical sensitivities. All right, next question is from Keep the Hope Today. Does Fifth disease come from one of the other main viruses? It's its own virus. Okay, so next question, I'm going to go off to Facebook and other platforms. Elaine says, went to a Christmas party, which I knew I shouldn't have gone to. I never go out. I started going to get turmeric shots a week before I went. I think they were too strong. I have chills and a fever of 101.6, headache, intense body aches, and I haven't felt like this in over 10 years. Oh, girlfriend, I am so sorry. Doing liquids, Vimergy supplements. Sorry, I don't have much strength to keep typing. That's okay, Elaine. Do zinc shock therapy, micro C shock therapy, golden seal shock therapy, and propolis shock therapy, and do time water, and that will pull you out of it pretty quickly. Also add in some lysine and cat's claw, but you don't need them in shock levels. You just need them in a little bit of a higher dose. And the turmeric shots is not what gave you this. Going to the party, you caught a bug. You caught a bug. So sorry. That sucks. Okay, so lots of questions here. You guys are asking amazing questions. Elaine says, I haven't had the flu in 12 years. It started with the turmeric shots before I got sick. Could they have been too strong? No, it's no way. But yeah, I get it. I get it. Kara says that helps me a lot. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Kara. Okay, so Soul Rise Glow. Have you ever heard about finger bones turning? What is that? You have to give me more specific information on finger bones turning. What do you mean turning? Rotating? Like, what do you mean by that? Hello, any advice for getting rid of nonstop mucus? Yes. Onions, raw onions, garlic, turmeric, garlic shots. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, orange juice shots will help you with that. And golden seal and cutting out fat, cutting out grains, beans, lentils. You have to cut them all out in order to stop that from happening. Yeah. Let's be healthy and kind. Hey, Jessica. It's so nice to see you here. Thanks for sharing that sweet comment. I'm glad that you love membership. Favorite supplement for nerve pain. Nerve pain, you have to get to the root of the pain, like what's causing it. So if it's shingles, then the nerve pain is coming from, the virus attacking the nerves. So you have to go with the shingles protocol, which includes the core 7. So zinc, B12, micro C, lysine, cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root. But in addition to that, you might need ALA, magnesium glycinate, California poppy, Neuromag, curcumin. You might need some nettle leaf to counteract the pain. You might need some MSM. There's a lot that you can need for that to counteract pain and nerve pain. All right, so next question is from Teresa Lee. It's not a question. She said that brain shots have made a huge difference in my chemical sensitivities. There you go, Tasha. So if you're wanting to heal chemical sensitivities, there's people saying that doing the brain shot therapies can make a big difference. And I would agree with that 1,000%. Asine Janae says, hey, Muneeza, I had a consultation with you in November for my toddler, doing everything you said to do, and she's doing amazing. She's responding to her name. Small problem is she's waking up at night. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I'm sorry. That was me. That wasn't Instagram. If it paused, I hit something and it just kind of paused. But I love that she's responding to her name. That is amazing news. This is a child who is dealing with sensory and autistic issues. This is just so cool. So the next part of your question got cut off. So you said any suggestions? She's waking up at night. So I need to know more. Like, is she waking up at night multiple times? Is she waking up at night just randomly? Is she waking up at the same time every night? How often is she waking up at night? There can be so many different root causes for that, Janae, that I would love to know more. So let me know. Marianne Barnes says, I've gotten a lot of support in the healing community. Thank you so much, Muneeza. You're so, so welcome. Jenny Ann said, Celine Dion, come and join the membership. Yes, let's do this. Let's get this word out there to celebs, right? I do believe that in the celeb circles, Anthony is well known. And so this information, I hope, will get to her. Health with Kelly says, hey, Kelly Burke, nice to see you here. There's also a pharmaceutical brain shot to help with this too. Yes, exactly. The pharmaceutical brain shot therapy is exposure. Pharmaceutical exposure brain shot is really important. Okay, next question is from Massey. She said, my nephew's skin on his hand all are coming off. He was given prednisone, but what causes severe skin peeling is a severe exposure to really extreme chemicals and a virus that probably feeds off those chemicals. Paula says, my 7-year-old cannot poop. What supplements can help? The most important thing, Paula, for a 7-year-old to poop is celery juice. Do plain celery juice. Get it into her, even if you can get in a teaspoon, even 2 ounces, even 4 ounces. Go up to 16 ounces if you can. It makes a massive difference. The next question is from Simone Rapp. Advice on turmeric causing gut disturbance. So if turmeric causes a gut disturbance, like with garlic and ginger sometimes, or onions can cause gut disturbances. And the reason that happens is because you are killing off a lot of bacterial overgrowth in the gut. It could be strep, it could be H. pylori, it could be E. coli, it could be C. diff, and it's going in and knocking all of that bacterial load out. So that's why it causes a disturbance, because it's a healing reaction, and you want it to do that. All right, next question is, and so Paula, coming back to you with celery juice, you can also bring in melon juice, hydrate her more. I think she may be dehydrated. Cut out unproductive foods, gluten, dairy, eggs, corn, soy, canola. Hopefully she's not having any, like caffeine or vinegar too much. So they dehydrate as well. So make sure there's none of that. No kombucha, no fermented foods, because they will dehydrate her as well. So you want to take all those out, and you want to bring in cherry juice. Lakewood organic cherry juice is amazing for also moving the bowels better than even prunes. Cheryl says, my son is 16. Should I do the adult protocol and the kids above 13? You can do either one. It depends on his weight. How do you improve metabolizing starch and sugars when you're reactive to all fruit? It's not that you're not metabolizing them. It's just that they're so healing. You're getting a healing reaction from them. So add in a lot more greens with your fruit, and they will have to mitigate the healing reaction and from them. Okay. How can I clear up eye floaters? Elena Steinecker, you really have to heal. Excuse me. You really have to work on the liver. They're residue of poisonous deposits from the liver that cause the floaters. So you want to clean up the liver. It's liver, right? Christy says, thank you so much. These Q&As are just as amazing as you. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much. Such kind words. If you want more Q&A, more in-depth Q&A, join us in the membership. The membership is the best place to come and do Q&A. The links are, I just want you to know, you can go to my website, muneezaahmed.com, and click on Intuitive Healing Community, or click on Membership Community, and you will see it right there, and you can click on to join. We have many, many plans to help people join the membership. We have ways to get you supported, even if finances are a struggle. So I'm posting my website right here, and I'm pinning it right there so you have it. Okay, so next question is from wow, you guys have a lot of questions. I love that. Can we take the mustard powder for extractor smoothie as capsules instead? If you find a clean one, I'm sure that you can. All right, another question on Facebook is from Jody Bracken. Why does my 2-year-old throw up honey every time, please? plain honey or honey mixed into a smoothie or something else? Honey has a very thick consistency, and your child may be just having a gag reflex to that thickness of that consistency. Do they gag with any other food is my question. Let me know in the comments, Jody. All right, next question is from, what are the best supplements for ringing in the ear? The EBV supplements. The EBV ones are basically Core 7, zinc, micro C, B12, lysine, castor, lemon balm, licorice root, and then curcumin. High doses of curcumin to bring the swelling of the nerve down. I would do some extractor shots, like I would do the nerve shifter shot. That has helped many of my clients with tinnitus. What causes eye floaters? Yeah, I just mentioned that they're caused by a residue from a sluggish liver, poisons from a sluggish liver. Wild blueberries for the win. What can I do for a toothache? Your tooth is hurting, then I would bring in some California poppy, some nettle leaf. I would do some curcumin, magnesium glycinate. Ciada, I don't know how to say this, which supplements for RA. Again, the Core 7, like I just mentioned, but also nettle leaf, magnesium glycinate, MSM, NAC, curcumin are super helpful for RA. These are the things my dad took. Okay, so Jody says it's plain honey. So if it's just plain honey, Jody, it's a texture issue. So she could be reacting to the texture. So I wouldn't give her a lot of honey with that because she could be gagging and just like throwing up. Otherwise, there's no other good reason for her to be struggling with that. Christy Henning says, or Sushu Henning says, could we safely avoid the antibiotic after a wisdom tooth extraction, even for just 3 days? If yes, what supplements would be most important? If not, what would help you recover faster? I'm not a doctor. Therefore, I'm not allowed to tell you whether to take an antibiotic or not. And also, it's not appropriate for me to tell you to not follow doctor's advice. That would not be cool. So I cannot tell you not to follow doctor's advice. What I can tell you is to go to my post on Instagram and Facebook and learn about the most powerful antibiotics that there are. And the most powerful antibiotics that there are naturally include raw honey, garlic, golden seal, oil of oregano, amongst others. So go check those out. All right. Acne on the forehead. If you have acne, bring in extra strawberries every single day. Do 1 to 2 cups of strawberries. And if you have acne, and then I would do an anti-strep protocol because acne is caused by streptococcus in the lymphatic system. So really, check that out. And do the golden seal, lomatium, OSHA, eyebright, micro C, and clean up your diet. One of the biggest reasons that acne happens to people ongoing is that the diet needs to be cleaner. Cut out the eggs, the dairy, the gluten, corn, soy, canola, and lower your dietary fat and lower the amount of legumes and grains that you're consuming because they can actually gum up your lymphatic system if it's already kind of congested. All right, so another question from Betsa. She says, why zinc can upset the stomach and what should you do? So in some people who are sensitive, zinc can cause you to have a little bit of more nausea. It's just because of sensitivity. And what you can do is several things. You can put zinc under your tongue and then hold it for 60 seconds and spit it out. You can gargle with zinc for 60 seconds and spit it out. You can have zinc on a full stomach after a banana, for example, and you won't feel as nauseous. You can also put the zinc into your heavy metal detox smoothie and have it that way, and you'll still get it. It won't be as potent, but you'll still get it in there. So I hope that all these tips help you. Okay, our next question is, what helps with chills, especially when you've caught some bug? Oh, gelsemium homeopathy can really help with chills. There's nothing else that can bring a chill down. Cheryl says, what's the longest you can be on Golden Seal for? I know you're supposed to do 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. You don't have to do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. You can go longer. Many of my clients will do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, or 4 weeks on, 1 week off. So if you're sick, keep going. You don't have to just come off of it. Live, Learn, Laugh said, I saw a lot of difference in hair growth after you told me about MSM. That is super cool and amazing. I love that. Cynthia says, osteoarthritis has developed in my fingers in the last 12 months. Is it possible to heal or improve? Yes, it is. So you follow a protocol that's similar to the rheumatoid arthritis protocol in the revised and expanded medical medium books. So go and follow those protocols, bring them in. You can reverse this. My dad has reversed a lot of RA symptoms after 10 years of being on the protocols, but he was a slow starter. He went very slowly, but he improved. So I'm hope that gives you hope to improve. Okay. There's a lot in that book and a lot of everything in that chapter. And earlier somebody asked me about the RA protocols. If I were you, Cynthia, go back and listen to it and you'll be able to get more of what I'm sharing about the protocol there. Healing Meraki Knot says, what protocol is best for prostate healing? The UTI one? No. The UTI protocol is for UTIs. It's targeted towards strep, which is what causes a UTI. If you want advice for prostate, you have to follow the EBV protocol. Okay. Any advice for nighttime bathroom distress? Then I would do more of a UTI and overactive bladder protocol from the Cleanse to Heal book. Ella says, advice for acne healing. When do people normally see a breakthrough after applying protocols? It depends on how congested you are, how much your diet has changed, how clean your liver is, and how many supplements you're doing. Hey, Amberlyn Stone, nice to see you here. If you want, I'm sharing with people about the membership. If you want to post the link, that would be really great. A question for a friend, how to heal high cholesterol. You have to work on the liver. It is a liver problem through and through. And for example, like the high cholesterol protocol, you want to be bringing in things like, first of all, lowering your dietary fat and, working on cutting out unproductive foods. That's the first. Now, it's a friend of yours, so I'm not sure how much your friend is willing to do, but like Mystery High Cholesterol, he recommends a bunch of like aloe. He recommends amla berry. He recommends CoQ10, curcumin, EPA, DHA, milk thistle, peppermint is important. All those pieces are important, right? Okay, next question is from how do we sign up children to my consultation, says Miriam. The same way you sign up an adult. Just go on to my website, which is linked right here. Click onto one-on-one laser coaching, and you can book an appointment for a child or an adult. Kara says, is there a time such as when you have neurological issues you should not do a 369? I got shut out. Sorry if a message went through. Yeah, so the only time not to do a 369 is when you're feeling a lot of stress or difficulty in actually doing it. Like if it's very stressful for you to do it, I wouldn't do it. If the thought of doing it is just exhausting, like you can't figure it out, like it's too much, I wouldn't push yourself to do it at that time. You want to come to it when you're feeling more ready. Ella says, any advice for acne healing? I already answered that. What causes bloating after a bowel movement? What causes bloating in general is low hydrochloric acid in the stomach and weak digestion. So is strep protocol the one to address this issue? Strep can be part of the equation, but you have to build hydrochloric acid in the gut. And that includes doing a lot of greens, extra celery juice, bringing in kiwi fruit, onions, all of they're super helpful. Like papaya is helpful as well for the gut. So you want to bring all of these foods in to help build. What gets rid of H. pylori? It's a good question. What gets rid of H. pylori? Natalie Pfeiffer also asked this question. Doing a lot of aloe is super helpful for H. pylori, and doing mono cleansing is helpful, and a high bacterial antibacterial protocol like cat's claw, lemon balm, licorice root, golden seal, Oregon grapefruit. I would do some curcumin, and lots of micro C. So H. pylori you can heal from using that. Chrissy said, side note, making your caramelized onions right now. I make them at like 4 times a week. They're so freaking good. Oh, honey, I'm so glad you like them. I love them too. I love to eat onions, but it make me tired. Is that normal? Well, not normal, but if you struggle, then you just have to kind of figure out why or what's going on. Lynn Hosling, how much is the membership? It's $67 a month. You get 4 live calls, 2 live calls with me, Q&A with me like we're doing here today. You get, and the Q&A can go 2 hours, 3 hours. It's a lot of questions. I try to get to all of them. And we do a teaching call. So there's a topic for each month, and I teach on that topic. You have a forum where you can ask 24/7 questions. The forum you can ask in any kind of area or type of question. We also give you a meditation call or a relaxation call. We also give you a prayer call. We also give you guest interviews, emotional support calls. There's so much in membership that we offer, and there are 21 practitioners who help you to answer your questions. Ella, you asked a question. You said, please, and then I'm not sure what the question was. Ideas to heal vaginal dryness. Being intimate is painful. Sunny in Minnesota. Thank you for taking time. So yeah, vaginal dryness. Gosh, it's a struggle. Vaginal dryness is a problem. I would put aloe. If you can take the gooey, sticky part of aloe out and put it into the vaginal area, that will help you to have intercourse better. If it's, hopefully you can make it less painful, but also coconut oil can help. But vaginal dryness is a liver issue, and you want to start by working on the liver, right? So it's really, really, really helpful to do. Elaine says, I'll become a member again soon. It really is the best. Oh my gosh, Elaine, thank you for sharing your sweet comment. Really appreciate it. I cannot wait to have you back. All right, so our next question is, I've thrown up honey from having too much of it, plus an HMDS. Yeah, it can be too sweet. It can be sickly sweet. So that's why people struggle with that. All right, so my son gets sick if he has no foods, but has any no foods, but it's always a day later, and always at night he ends up throwing up. Why is this? He's allergic to them. That's what that is, right? It's building basically a viral load and mucus that comes from the viruses or the bacteria or strep, and then it's too much for him, and that's why he throws up the mucus. Can you heal teeth pain, says Herbal Girl, or is it about replacing the enamel? No, you can heal tooth pain. Tooth pain is not just about enamel. Tooth pain is also hitting up a nerve. So it could be hitting a nerve because you have a local infection, or it could be tooth pain from even shingles or HSV1 or 2. C. Tina K says, I didn't follow doctor's advice and I did a bunch of tools. I was miserable. Looking back, I wish I took the damn antibiotics because I got the worst infection and I had pus seeping into my throat. I always talk about how it's important to sometimes take the medical drugs because they do help you. Okay? Always remember that. Marianne says, thank you so much for your extraordinary work. You're most welcome, Marianne. Thank you for always being here and such a beautiful soul that you are, that you grace us with this. It's really beautiful. All right, Simone says, it's been 2 years since breast cancer. I'm so sorry you struggle with that. That's such a difficult diagnosis to deal with. I've been on 32 ounces of celery juice the whole time. I've done few 369 advanced. How often should I do them? I would do them at least once every couple of months, right? To keep that liver cleaning up and cleaning and keeping everything moving the right direction. Okay, so Bharaj Harpreet says, hi, Muneeza, I suffer from severe fear all the time. I say it's different than anxiety. It's related to past traumas. Is there any help for this? There's so much help, Harpreet. So if you want to look up the revised and expanded book protocol for PTSD, I would follow that. I would do the trauma, shock, loss, stabilizer shot. I would do the betrayal stabilizer shot, the adrenal fight or flight stabilizer shot from the brain shot therapy books. And I would get in the I would bring in the burnout stabilizer shot as well. And these will all really help you, really make a difference. Kathy says, I've been a member since day one and I never stop appreciating the wonder of it all. Kathy, we love having you in there. I know you've been there. Some members have been there from the beginning. It's been 3 years. This is going into our 4th year doing membership, and people love it so much. So we really appreciate all of you, and we love showing up for all of you because it's so powerful for us to keep sharing this information and keep helping you heal. And, people come, people go, but become an annual member, because if you become an annual member, you get the 8 bonus calls with me on how to win the spiritual war. The spiritual war is a really big topic right now, really struggling to help people understand how powerful it is to win this spiritual war, and that we can, right? That we can, and we rise above it all. So anyway, I really loved hanging out with you, loved doing Q&A with all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me, taking time out of your precious schedules. Claudia, you've been there from day one too. I love it. Thank you for always hanging out. And I look forward to seeing you. Our next live is going to be on Thursday. Ask Muneeza is coming to a new time. A new time is going to be 4 p.m. Eastern, so that we can help some of the people in Europe and Australia and US as well. Love you guys so much. Come back and ask me more questions. I really enjoyed hanging out with you, and I look forward to doing more. All right, everybody, we're here. I'm here to help support you through the holidays. I know it's a tough time, and everybody wants extra support, so we're going to be doing more lives to get help for the holidays. All right, everyone, take care. Support yourselves. Don't get sick. Take all your protocols. I want you guys well and healing. All right. Bye, everybody.